For years, Christmas had always been hosted at my house. I decorated every room, cooked enough food for an army, wrapped thoughtful gifts, and made sure every guest felt welcome. I never complained because I believed family was worth every sacrifice. But as the years passed, something changed. Instead of appreciation, I became everyone's unpaid event planner. My daughter-in-law, Emily, slowly turned Christmas into her personal celebration while expecting me to do all the work. She'd arrive late, criticize the decorations, suggest changes to my menu, and somehow leave before the dishes were washed. Every year I told myself maybe next Christmas will be different. It never was. One chilly November afternoon, my phone rang. It was Emily. She sounded unusually cheerful. "I have wonderful news," she said. "Oh," I replied. "This year Christmas is going to be bigger than ever." I smiled politely, although she couldn't see me. "That sounds nice," she continued excitedly. "I invited my parents, both sisters, their husbands, all the kids, my cousins, Aunt Linda, Uncle Joe, Grandma Rose, and a few family friends." I tried counting in my head. How many people exactly? Oh, around 25 from my side, plus our family. I nearly dropped the phone. 5, yes. "It'll be so much fun," then came the sentence that made my heart sink. "I already told everyone you'll handle the dinner since you're the best cook. No question, no discussion." She had simply volunteered my house, my time and my money before I could respond. She added another surprise. "They'll probably stay for 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days, I looked around my quiet living room. Did she really expect me to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, clean bathrooms, change bed sheets, and entertain nearly 30 people? I was 68 years old, not a hotel manager, not a catering company, just a grandmother who wanted a peaceful Christmas. That evening, my son Michael came by. I asked calmly, "Did you know Emily invited 25 relatives?" He looked uncomfortable. "Well, she mentioned it and you agreed." He shrugged. "I didn't think it was a big deal." "It isn't a big deal because you're not the one doing the work." Silence filled the room for the first time in years. I realized something painful. No one had even asked whether I wanted to host. They had simply assumed I always would. That night I couldn't sleep. Instead of imagining Christmas music and laughter, I pictured endless grocery shopping, overflowing trash bags, mountains of dishes, and exhausted evenings. Then an unexpected idea appeared. What if I simply wasn't home? The next morning I opened my laptop. For years I dreamed of spending Christmas somewhere snowy and peaceful. No cooking, no cleaning, no stress, just me. I found a cozy mountain lodge with a fireplace overlooking frozen lakes. It had 1 room left. Without overthinking, I booked it. 5 nights, non-refundable. The moment I received the confirmation email, I smiled wider than I had in months. A week later, I invited Michael and Emily over. "I have some news," Emily grinned. "Have you started planning the menu?" "Actually," I said gently, "I won't be here for Christmas." Her smile disappeared. "What do you mean?" "I'll be traveling." Silence. Then she laughed, very funny. "I'm serious." Michael stared at me. "Mom, where are you going?" "Colorado for Christmas, yes." Emily blinked several times. "But everyone is coming. I know they're expecting dinner." "I understand they're staying here." "No, they aren't." She frowned, "But I already invited them." I didn't. The room became incredibly quiet. Emily crossed her arms. "So what are we supposed to do?" I smiled kindly. "I'm sure you'll figure something out." She looked genuinely shocked. "But Christmas has always been at your house. And this year it won't be." She began listing reasons why I should cancel my trip. "It's tradition. The kids will be disappointed. My parents already booked flights. We've told everyone." I listened patiently. Then I answered with one simple question. Did anyone ask me before making these plans? Neither of them spoke. That silence answered everything. Over the next few days, my phone exploded with messages. Some relatives tried guilt. "Christmas won't be the same." Others tried pressure. "Family comes first." A few even called me selfish. I politely replied with exactly the same sentence every time. "I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. Nothing more, nothing less." As December arrived, something surprising happened. People started making other arrangements. Some booked hotels, others hosted dinners themselves. A cousin volunteered her house. Emily's parents offered to cook. Miraculously, all the problems that supposedly required me solved themselves. Christmas morning arrived. Instead of waking before sunrise to prepare a turkey, I woke to snow falling gently outside my cabin window. I made myself hot chocolate, read a novel beside the fireplace, took a peaceful walk through fresh snow, no stress, no complaints. No dirty dishes, just peace. Later that afternoon, my phone buzzed. It was a picture from Michael. Everyone was gathered around a dining table, smiling, laughing. Emily had cooked, her sisters brought desserts. Her mother made side dishes. Everyone contributed exactly as families should. A second message followed. You were right, we should have shared the responsibility years ago. A few minutes later, Emily sent one of her own. I'm sorry, I never realized how much work you did every Christmas. We all took you for granted. I read the message twice, then smiled. Sometimes people don't understand another person's value until they're forced to do the job themselves. When I returned home after Christmas, Michael and Emily visited. Emily handed me a small gift. Inside was a silver ornament engraved with 4 simple words. Thank you for everything. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. Next Christmas, she said softly, everyone brings something. No one person does all the work, and only if you actually want to host. For the first time in many years, I felt heard. The following Christmas was completely different. Everyone cooked, everyone cleaned, everyone laughed together. Nobody expected perfection, and strangely enough, it became the happiest Christmas our family had ever shared. Because Christmas isn't about one exhausted person sacrificing everything while everyone else relaxes. It's about love, respect, gratitude, and remembering that the greatest gift we can give the people who care for us is simply appreciating them before they grow too tired to keep giving. Months passed after that unforgettable Christmas, and something inside our family had truly changed. The tension that once filled every holiday gathering had been replaced with something I hadn't felt in years. Mutual respect. One Saturday afternoon in early spring, Emily knocked on my front door holding a basket of homemade muffins. I was in the neighborhood, she said with a shy smile. I thought we could have some coffee together. I invited her in as we sat in the kitchen. She looked around the house inside. I used to think hosting was easy, she admitted after Christmas. I finally understood what you've been doing for all these years. I smiled gently. It isn't about the cooking, Emily. It's about feeling appreciated. She nodded. I know that now. Then she surprised me even more. I've been teaching the kids that everyone should help. Before they enjoy a family meal, they even set the table and wash dishes. Now hearing those words warmed my heart. Sometimes the greatest lessons aren't taught through arguments. They're taught through actions. A few weeks later, Michael called Mom. He said, we're planning a family barbecue for Memorial Day. But this time everyone has a job. No one is allowed to show up empty-handed. I laughed. Whose idea was that? Emily's. The barbecue turned out to be one of the happiest family gatherings we'd ever had. My son grilled burgers. Emily prepared salads. Her father handled the drinks. The cousins organized games for the children. And even the teenagers helped clean up afterward. For the first time in decades, I wasn't running from the kitchen to the dining room while everyone else relaxed. Instead, I actually sat down, laughed, and enjoyed the company of the people I loved. Near sunset, Emily walked over and quietly handed me a framed photograph. It showed me sitting on the porch during Christmas years ago, smiling while holding my youngest granddaughter. Across the bottom of the frame were engraved words that brought tears to my eyes. The heart of our family. I looked at Emily. You didn't have to do this. I wanted to, she replied. Because I finally understand everything you've given us. Months later, as Christmas approached once again, the family group chat became unusually busy. Instead of asking me what I planned to cook, everyone started volunteering. I'll bring the turkey, I've got mashed potatoes. We'll handle dessert, I'll decorate the house. Even the grandchildren insisted on making handmade ornaments. When Christmas Day finally arrived, my house was full once again, but this time it felt completely different. There was laughter in the kitchen, music in the living room, children decorating cookies, and adults working side by side. No one expected me to carry the entire celebration alone. As dinner ended, Michael stood and tapped his glass. I'd like to make a toast. The room fell silent. For years, Mom gave us perfect Christmases without asking for anything in return. We thought it just happened. We never realized how much love, work, and sacrifice it took. He looked at me with grateful eyes. Thank you for teaching us that family means sharing responsibilities, not placing them on one person's shoulders. Everyone raised their glasses. At that moment, I realized The best Christmas gift had never been wrapped in colorful paper. It was seeing my family grow, learn from their mistakes, and choose kindness over convenience. And as I looked around the table, I knew one thing for certain. Sometimes the bravest decision you can make is simply saying no. Because that single word may become the beginning of a happier family for everyone.